With the release of Marvel Rivals Season 1 and the player base growing tremendously, this means a lot of new players are going to be entering the rank scene, which means the possibility of you getting into lobbies with people who are relatively new to rank are a lot higher. Hey guys, Joe the Pro here, and here are some tips to climb the ranks in Marvel Rivals as a solo queue. I am currently Grandmaster 1 as a solo queue, and getting up there was not an easy task, guys. There has been a lot of times where I just didn't want to continue. There was a lot of times where my lost streaks covered the screen of all gray, right? But soon enough, guys, you'll find it where it'll eventually turn all yellow because of a few things I'll mention here. Tip number 1, be flexible. And what I mean by that is not, oh, I can twist my arms and no. Not that kind of flexible. What I mean by that is, as a solo queue, you'll need to either fill in or be dominant in a role that isn't your role. Let's say your main role is damage, which a lot of people's is. Who doesn't want to have fun in damage, you know? I did when I started playing this game. Then realized damage, unfortunately, is a role liked by everyone. I don't want to be like everyone, so I started maining tank. So let's just say your main role is damage. And what I mean by be flexible is you have to know how to at least play 2 more tanks and 2 more strategists. By understanding how to play at least 2 tanks and 2 strategists, leave you that if your role gets taken by another two players, you can switch to strategist freely and you can switch to tank freely if you need. That is the number 1. I am a solo queue Grandmaster. I have to do that way too much, but I do play tank. Tank is technically my main, and unfortunately no one plays tank, so no one will ever steal my role, right? I mean, to the players who do, to the players who actually play tank, I thank you guys so much. I have a fat smile on my face when you guys play tank. I'll double pick with you if anything, because I love playing with 2 tanks. But the biggest thing to understand is just know how to be flexible. Know how to put those numbers up as not your main role. Because I know you guys want to play DPS. You see 2 players pick DPS. You want to be the 3rd. Don't be the 3rd. Don't be that guy. I don't like you if you are that guy. I hate you. But you guys gotta understand, your role, you might not be able to play your role for many games, but that's where flexibility comes in. If you are flexible, you are automatically better than everybody on your team, and I'm telling you that. When you are flexible, you know how to play multiple characters. The worst thing to see is somebody who's going negative and won't switch off to a different role, because that's the only role they know how to play. If you guys are going negative and you switch to a different role, I applaud you so much. I thank you guys, okay? Taking initiative to understand that you aren't doing well in a role, to switch to a different role to do better, I thank you guys for that. And especially when a damage goes healer and they start doing better, they understood, hey, damage might not be for me. They let somebody know, so swaps. And healer is now, they're outputting a lot more healing for some reason, and the DPS, they can DPS, right? That's the best thing. I love when people are flexible. I love when people can do everything they can. And also, being flexible. If you have a Lord icon on any character, I do not care. You can have 100 hours on one character and 5 hours on the next, right? If you can't switch off to a different character, depending on the scenario we are in, I'm gonna need you to switch. Let's say you're playing, you're a Black Panther main, and you have a Lord Black Panther, which is really sick, okay? His icon is one of the best out there, I think. But congratulations to you. Black Panther, you aren't putting in numbers like you should be. You need to swap ASAP. I don't want you staying Black Panther just because your ego is so high, just because you want to get clips to post on TikTok, to post on YouTube and stuff like that. I don't care. We're here to rank up. We're here to win. We're not here to get clips. You do that in quick play, I'll avoid US teammate after the game's done. Don't worry about that. If you have a Lord icon, congratulations to you. That means you just aren't flexible. You only played one character for I don't know how long. You can have more, right? Congratulations. I want you to be flexible. As a solo queue, you need to be flexible. Don't play one character. Don't be a one trick. You're gonna bring your team down if you do that. This is a team game. You need to work together. And especially a solo queue, when you're going up against 4 stacks, 5 stacks, even 6 stacks, you are at the most disadvantage ever. So you need to understand where you need to fall for your game to win. Tip number 2, know your role as your character. So you are playing DPS, right? You're now flexible, but you're playing DPS. If I'm going up against 2 tanks up to 3 tanks, I need a DPS that can output damage like that. I need somebody who can either get their ultimate really fast, whether it's Storm, whether it's Moon Knight, okay? When there's 3 tanks on the other team, we need people to really stack up damage or get their ult up fast. And there's a storm bug right now where she gets her ult up very, very quick. I love that so much. That's the reason why she's banned almost in every high lobby right now. Grandmaster 1, and I think literally 50-50 every other game she's banned, if not. Okay? You need to understand that high damage is needed, not constant damage. I'm not talking about Scarlet Witch constant damage, where she's just holding her hand out, doing a steady amount of damage. Guess what? When they're running 3 tanks, more than likely they're running 3 healers. They will out-heal you 10 out of 10 times. We need people to do spike damage. We need people who do damage instantly, fast, quick, high damage. I'm not talking about a sniper, because they don't do damage quick enough. I'm talking about Moon Knight, who can get their ult up really quick. When you see 3 tanks, they're huddled together. The chain off of them will get your ult up so quick. Storm, her chain, they will get their ult up very quick too. Squirrel Girl, her explosives will hit multiple people. High damage, very quick. We need her. Great stun ability, amazing. We need her. Now, that's just DPS. That's when you need to know who to play at certain times. Know your role as well, which will fall into the next tip, is know who to play and when to play. So understanding your role as your character, as your healer, know how much healing you need to do, or if you have a good amount of healing right now, know what character to play when you need to. Knowing what character to play and who to play at the right times will help your team win 100% of the time, okay? Because lots of times when enemies lose, it's because when you look at their composition, it's not formed properly. They don't have enough healing to health ratio. They'll have tanks whose health combines up to almost 2,500, but they're playing Rocket and Adam Warlock. Explain that, right? Understandably, Adam Warlock and Rocket are 2 very good healers in their own scenarios. I'm not talking when your tanks have 3,000 HP, you have to heal in a second, okay? That's when you gotta have a Sue, a Luna Snow, and a Cloak and Dagger on your team. Those people will put up numbers, and I'm talking instantly, okay? Those people on control maps are amazing because you're fighting in one area, they ult one area, it's amazing, right? Rocket, Adam Warlock, they're situational. Mantis, situational, all those characters. Every character is situational. It's knowing who to play and when to play him, depending on the enemy composition and your team's composition. What I mean by composition is what characters your team are playing, and who are you going to play, what enemies your team are playing, and if they're going to counter you or not. And also, if you're doing better than your whole team, but you notice that your numbers are odd, not saying like 1, 3, 5, no. But like your team, let's say your tanks are not doing well, they're going like 5 and 6 collectively, right? And your healers are putting up numbers, but for some reason you're doing a little better. Maybe you're the problem. Which is weird to say because, oh, my numbers are way better than theirs. How could I be the problem? You gotta understand, maybe you're doing enough damage to tick off, but their healers are healing them way too fast for you to even finish anybody off. You need to switch. This is a team game, not a solo game. You can run to the flank, right? You can damage. 10,000 damage in the first half of the game. Congratulations. What did that do? Nothing. If your kills and final kills don't add up, you can have 20 kills. But if you have no more than 5 final kills, that means 5 of your kills popped up in the far right of the kill feed. What's happening? You need more final kills, which means you need to team up with your team, push together as one, conquer one area, and slowly move forward. But obviously, if you're a flanker, that's different. You go in, pick off healers, run away. Spider-Man, you're good for that magic, you're good for that. As long as you could do the work, you do it. If you aren't doing well and you're noticing you're not doing well as said people, switch. Same thing goes for tank. If you're a tank main, let's say you're playing Magneto, right? And you're going up against 2 tanks and you're the only tank. You're going to need to switch. Why? Magneto himself is not necessarily a good solo tank to play. You're going up against a Doctor Strange, who is, in my opinion, the best solo tank ever. He has a great shield you can pull up all the time. His abilities, his ultimates, completely game-changing. Dude can take out an entire team with one button. You need to understand, if they're playing Doctor Strange and they're playing Groot, you will lose 10 out of 10 times if you stay Magneto. When they're playing that, you need to switch to somebody who's able to stand still while they're pushing forward and stop them completely. What I mean by this is, as a tank, that's your job. Your job isn't to just push them away right away. Your job is to be able to hold them off and slowly take away damage and work off of one kill. There could be a 6v6, and if you take one person away as a 6v5, and it doesn't matter, it's now a 6v5. You work off of that. Slowly push forward. Doesn't mean rush to the back lines and try and take them out. No. You push forward with your team. Healing will come in as behind you, okay? Trust your healers. I know it sucks to do that because half the time they don't heal when you're soloing, but you're gonna have to do that. The higher you get, the better your healers get. It's not just you getting better, but the higher ranks you go, everybody gets better. So it's harder to just go in and just trust your healers and hope that you get heals. I've done that a lot, and it's actually been successful a lot of the time. So trusting your healers is a very big thing. Being able to stop a push as a solo tank versus like 2 or 3 tanks is the best ever, because you're stopping them like this. If they can push you back a little bit, but you don't want them to continuously push you back and then they just can keep moving forward. And I'm talking like payload maps, where they push you all the way up past, and now someone's just chilling on the payload while it moves forward. That's different from like capture points where you need to fight on the objective. Having more tanks on the capture point's a lot harder to fight off, because now you have to jump into 3 tanks, which is a lot different from 3 tanks having to push you, because you can bunker down depending on what tank you are, which is why you need to know who to play, when to play the tank. That is completely what you need to know. This is all for solo queuing. If you're duo queuing, trio queuing, 4-stack or anything, this video might help you. For the most part, solo queuing, you need to know what to do at the right time. You need to be flexible, and you need to understand your role as a solo queue. These tips will help you climb through the ranks very fast, and obviously practice in the practice range when you start up. Let's say you're loading in the morning, your first thing you do is launch up a ranked match. Let's stop there, buddy. You're getting avoided as teammate if I find out you're doing that, okay? Just say, let's hop into the practice range to, let's say you're Spidey. He requires a lot of quick, and by the way, I'm on Xbox. So I'm not on mouse and keyboard, I'm not flicking around or anything. I'm on Xbox. Solo queue, Xbox Grandmaster 1, okay? Solo queuing is very hard on any console, or just even anything in general. PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Solo queuing is never the ideal thing to do. But if you do it, these tips I just told you will help you tremendously. We'll go through it again. Being flexible, know your role, whether you're healer, tank, DPS, and know who to play, when to play the character. Okay guys? Master this and spend like 5-10 minutes in the practice range every day before you grind up ranked, or even play a couple quick matches. Get you warmed up, you know, get that feeling ready for rank. Hop in, grind off. Like I said, when you go into that match, know who to play, when to play, understand your role, and be flexible. If anything, you don't even have to pick until everybody else picks. That's sometimes what I do. That's what I did for like the first couple ranks. When I was gold to platinum, I was letting other people pick first, then I picked. I filled in, but I was dominant in the role I played. That's what you guys need to do. If you understand that, I promise you, whatever rank you're at right now, you will double, maybe even triple. Trust me, you guys will get there 100% of the time. So here's some tips for some tanks that I was going to tell you about if you stayed to this part of the video. With Venom, here's some tips that I found out with like just playing throughout the game, and I've noticed. You can activate his like grab ability on other people. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm never a master at figuring that out. But when you like wrap around him with the little ability and you dive underground as well, as long as you're still near him, the grab or like the tangle won't go away. So if you time it just right, you can grab him, go underground, keep it grabbed, and as soon as he bites, the explosion will let off, doing even almost double damage, which is insane. And imagine you tag up like 3 people and dive underground, because you move just as fast as they do. So you'll be able to, as long as your team is also providing damage, you'll just munch them all up. You're gonna gain HP when you come out, because the more people you hit, the more HP you get basically. That's one Venom tip. One Groot tip I got for you guys. With Groot, sometimes when I placed his wall, I couldn't understand why I placed 2 walls down, which is weird because I'm like, oh, well, if I'm trying to place 2 walls down really quick, like I press the button and then I press it again, I place down 2 walls. Well, I have a tip for you guys. With Groot, I've realized if you pull his wall out, hold the trigger and drag across, you can place 2 walls down. I couldn't understand why I was placing 1 and 2 at the same time, like next to each other. Turns out I was holding it too long and dragging it across. It can be really good because you can ult combo, as so right now. You can ult, put 2 walls behind them, and quickly kill those 2 people. And it works for big groups of players. Use this in your next match if you are a group main. It will help you out so much. Now, as a Doctor Strange main, here's one tip for Doctor Strange. A lot of you guys already know this if you do play a lot of Doctor Strange, but here for the new players, right? Doctor Strange tip. When you use his ultimate, you'll see you'll see the character and a soul pop out, right? When you ult, when you see those 2 things, his body and the soul, you were the only person who are able to deal double damage, aka hitting the soul and the body. Which means when you press your explosion ability, it hits them twice, double damage. So what you need to do is stack up your charge to 100% ults, or ults and just stack up to 100% and pop that little explosion, and now you're dealing double damage, which can literally one hit any 250 health player instantly. This can work under any circumstance. Well, you gotta be careful too, because let's say there's constant healing going on. If the instant damage will deal like 225, but if there's any overhealth or anything, you're not gonna kill him. If you ult any healers before they even pop any healing abilities, you're gonna be able to kill him. Your ult is meant to quick change the game. You can just quickly, if you're in the front lines, you can dive to back lines really fast, as shown in these clips. It's a quick game changer, you won't even notice it. It's just too quick for them to react, and you'll get them almost 85 to 90% of the time. This paired with Hulk's little ability is so good. It almost does, I don't want to say does double the damage because you're already doing double the damage, hypothetically, but now you're doing even more damage in a bigger range, so you're just increasing the amount of damage you do overall. So you'll just do an insane amount of damage. Well guys, those were the tips for today, and I hope you guys can take something out of this video, maybe even use it as in your next games of Marvel Rivals, and hopefully guys, you can get some rank ups with these tips I told you as a solo queue guys. But this also works if you're duo queued, you're trio queued. Being flexible just helps so much in general. It helps your entire team. If, let's say, like some people don't want to play a certain role, you can fill it in for them. That will help your team 100% of the time. If you enjoyed the video and made it this far, why not hit that like button? And while you're down there, if you are new around here, why not hit that subscribe button, guys? If you like the videos I make, guys, remember to turn on the post notifications and get alerted every time I go live or when I upload a video. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. We are so close to 300 subscribers. Huge, guys. So close. So if we get there, that would be amazing. More videos to come, guys, and I can't wait to go on this journey with you guys. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.